you would notice that people that are churchgoers, are religious in nature, tend to frown upon divorce being an option, because they don't want to look like they want to always seem righteous. They want to always feel like I got it all figured out. Let me give you an example. I don't want to open old wounds, but you could remember this singer that sings at Dunamis, that died through domestic violence. And when she died, people were saying, why didn't she open up? Why didn't she leave the marriage? If she left that marriage, what do you think will become of her? How do you think the pastor would view her? How do you think the congregation will view her? Do you know that if the church find out that, oh, she left her husband, that is the end of her career?
The fact that divorce is actually an option is because of the oaths, the marital oaths. Better for worse. And even if the worse is dangerous, the person wants to keep that oath. Even when you're being tribulated, even when it's both sides, no, it's not about only the woman, it's both sides. There are things that, and you hear people say, yes, our grandparents endured it. But I think at this particular time, people have started speaking up to what they actually go through in marriages. Is it that they actually did not understand what marriage was all about? They felt it was all pleasure, happy ending, and things now turned out. Because, marriage is about responsibility. Most stuff. At the time you're doing your courtship, there's not much responsibility. You're just enjoying yourself. By the time you now get married, you now realize that almost as a man, you're supposed to do this. As a woman, you're supposed to carry a child for 9 months. Guy, and before you know it, the agreement now moves away. But it's usually seen as a shame for a woman to leave her husband's house, irrespective of what happens. Even if she's dying, it's seen as a shame in Africa. So, but me, I think it's supposed to be an acceptable thing, depending on the personality.
I think that there are two major reasons in Nigeria why people find it so hard to leave an abusive marriage. One is financial dependence, and the second and most popular one is religion.
Oh, how religion?
Because so many people that are religious minded would always ask that question. What will people say? It happens.
I feel like
what will my pastor say? Oh, I'm the leader of the CWO women. How will they view me? What will my pastor say? What will people see me as? That is one of the reasons, the major reasons I feel people don't leave an abusive marriage.
I feel like that comes in with culture and not religion.
Okay.
It comes in with culture. Everybody you see in that church, CW, whatever, they are first Nigerians. They are first cultured people before they became religious. So you cannot say it is religion based, because so many people in that church as well will still be in support of that person and saying, leave that man. Why can't you get out from that marriage? Most of the people will still, it's a biased thing with some people. So I feel like the only thing that would hinder most people from running away, for me, first of all, culture. Because we're not Americans, we're not Europeans. We believe in Nigeria that it is a sin, it is a crime. They would be dependent on the woman. They don't even care to know what happens in the marriage. They don't want to know if she's being abused, if she's being cheated on. They just believe that, leave that woman when no fit, this one when no fit handle man, this one when no fit keep marriage. And 90% of the people there would say she could not keep a marriage. But you are not going into the inner factor to know that this man, they beat this woman. This man, they cheat on this woman. That would not be the say. They will not say, oh, she left the marriage because she was cheated on. She'll be like, that one when no female handle marriage. Now this new one when you want married, now you ain't go fit do. And that's the reason. And I'm going to say one more thing. Dependency on the man is the reason why. Because most people in Nigeria always believe that if I marry, let my wife be at home. And she will not do a work. Because some men do not want to empower a woman. They don't want to do that. The reason why they don't want to do that is so that you will be solely dependent on them. And that sole dependence will make you feel like if any day he does anything he wants to do, you will feel like, if I come out for here now, who go take care of my children? If I come out for here now, another woman will come inherit the sweat while I don't suffer with this man for years. That mental thought alone keeps so many women in the marriage, regardless of how abused they are. That's it for me.
You would notice that people that are churchgoers, are religious in nature, tend to frown upon divorce being an option, because they don't want to look like they want to always seem righteous. They want to always feel like I got it all figured out. Let me give you an example. I don't want to open old wounds, but you could remember this singer that sings at Dunamis, that died through domestic violence. And when she died, people were saying, why didn't she open up? Why didn't she leave the marriage? If she left that marriage, what do you think will become of her? How do you think the pastor would view her? How do you think the congregation will view her? Do you know that if the church find out that, oh, she left her husband, that is the end of her career?
I don't think so.
It is the end of her career.
I do not think so.
No church would allow somebody come into the pulpit or altar and sing for God when you're not with your husband. They see you as somebody that has done all shade of wrong.
I want to ask you a question.
And another thing I want to say, during the days of our forefathers, they believe that as a woman, there are things you're supposed to do as a wife. And when you're not doing that thing, they send you back to your family. They don't see it as a big deal. They will tell you, you're not doing the things I want as a wife, especially when you don't even give them male children. They send you back to your family. They call you barren. They call you a man. When you talk about the Christian doctrine when it comes to marriage, that is where you would hear this till death do us part.
It's the oath.
It's the Christian doctrine. It's a Christian oath. That is why you would watch that in majority of people that would frown upon divorce are Christian homes.
If you go into the minds of these people, it is less of religion
And more
and more of culture.